Last year, I was a part of 3 art exhibits. This year, I have been a part of 10, and I already have another exhibit lined up for next year and an artist residency lined up for next year. While I do think my art has improved since last year, I think the main difference is where I'm finding my calls for art. In 2024, I was mainly applying for calls through Call for Entry and Zapplication. And let me tell you, I pretty much never found anything in my niche on those. And if I did, everyone else was seeing them too and applying from out of state, and so I never got accepted to any of them. This year, however, I have changed my whole approach. I have not been finding any of my calls for entry on Cafe or Zapplication. This year instead, I have been finding them directly at the source. I am following a lot more art galleries, museums, collectives, and the like. So the only time that I'm actually on Call for Entry is if they are hosting it through Call for Entry, and that's the only way that I can apply. But I'm not finding it on Call for Entry. I'm finding it on their open calls for art on Instagram or on their website. I also joined an artist guild in a state that I don't live in because the types of shows that they do and their values align very well with me and my art. So do I pay a small fee for the entire year? Yes, but I also get to be a part of all of their exhibits if I want to, and paying the teeny tiny yearly fee costs less than applying for 2 applications through Call for Entry. I'm also a part of a gallery, and that really helps because if they're having an exhibit, I could enter something into it for free. So if you're having a hard time finding calls for art that you can enter because they're in your niche, or that you have a higher likelihood of being accepted into, I would highly recommend looking for a source, not just a third-party website that posts calls for entry on there, because small galleries that focus on local artists are more likely to work with an emerging artist than maybe a really, really big fancy gallery that only works with people who are industry professionals with 25 years of experience. And art collectives with a physical location are also really good for that.